Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode. We renamed it due to, I guess, public or popular demand, but it is now this week in TWBL or this week in TWBL. We'll probably just say TWBL just to, I guess, not, I don't know, cause confusion. But yeah, this week in TWBL, we will be going through a couple of stuff. Some league news going into the another announcement that I will be going through, I guess, when we get closer to time. But top 18 is another thing to be discussed, as well as power rankings. Not in a specific order. Obviously, we have the order, but I want to go ahead and carry on. Oh, by the way, hi Cam.
What's up, y'all?
How's your week going?
Going pretty good. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. Intramural softball championship tomorrow night.
Okay, okay. I mean, let's see what, because I had are you a big fantasy, or yeah, you have a fantasy league now for baseball?
I do,
I
yeah.
I just won my
We're off
matchup.
this week.
You lost. I
Yeah,
I
I was
thought
2-0 going into the week.
oh I thought I was gonna lose, but Rafael Iglesias got a last minute save to walk off my championship, or not championship, walk off my win. I was Oh no, it was an exactly 1 point deficit, so I won by 1 point because of the save. So pretty excited about that. Okay, now back to TWBL. So we're gonna be jumping into league news, starting off with Cooper Ruckle and his injury. I mean, this has been discussed over sipping coffee with Bert, but Cooper Ruckle, a ankle injury. I'm pretty sure he broke his ankle. He said by doing pickup basketball, but he will maybe be out for week 1, possibly. Will miss spring training, which is coming up actually next week as of today. So it'll be May 2nd, and that'll take place at Home Run Ranch. It'll be super fun. Cookie Monsters will be out there. I'm not sure if the Rooks are going or not.
Me and Race will be out there for sure. That is what
Okay.
I will say.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Wonderful. And then do you think that'll affect Cooper at all going into, I guess, the start of the season? I think it might affect him maybe a little bit because a broken ankle's kind of rough.
I mean, I would say like I don't even know how far we are. Probably a little bit. Like I'd have to assume like you're not getting reps in. Like Coop feels like a guy who's if he's not practicing medium pitch, he's for sure playing fast pitch.
Yeah.
A guy like that, it'll affect because he kind of has to take time away from the game. But
Hmm.
I'm not,
I don't.
I'm not worried about the
I
guy.
don't. I don't think he'll miss a beat. I think he'll come back just as strong. But moving on, Landon Davidson likely missing 3 weeks, and I'll comment a bit more on this than the usual take. But Landon Davidson missing 3 weeks. It is not confirmed. He has around a 50-50 chance, he said, of missing. We did make the post already, just in the fact that he is most likely missing it. But oddly enough, him making opening day is is decided through the stars winning or losing the playoffs, which is an odd dilemma. But yeah, so basically, if the stars win, he will be most likely he'll be most likely making opening day. If they lose, he will most likely be missing the first 3 weeks, which is bad. It's kind of hard to miss, especially your number one arm week 1. But Cookie Monsters are looking to recover. We do have 2 extra arms, possibly 3, that we can kind of rely on. Still testing on that third. Hopefully won't miss a beat. Hopefully we'll still stay somewhat in the competitive nature of just those first 3 weeks. But yeah, moving on. This is more of Cam's side, but I'm just gonna say it. Just Hunter Hampton retirement being announced, I think 2 days ago when they sent out the player registrations. You got anything on that, Cam?
Yeah, from what I know, he was a great locker room guy. personally never had an opportunity to play with him because even in our other league, I didn't play with him. So I unfortunately only know so much about the guy. But from what I've heard from some of the guys, he was a great guy to be around, a great locker room guy, just brought great vibes to the field week in, week out, every time he was there. But yeah, no, I never got the luxury of playing with him.
I mean, it's always tough seeing a retirement, but I mean, best of luck to him and his future, wherever he decides to go along with. Let's see. I mean, do you think it affects the Rooks at all in terms of lineup, roster, anything? Or of course roster, but
Um, yeah, I mean, definitely to an extent. I don't think he had a lot of games played last year, so I don't know much, but I think it's more just like he was a great guy to be around. I don't know how much the roster is affected because unfortunately last year he wasn't there too often. Very busy guy. He has a job. I think he's maybe getting married. I want to say I'm not positive, but he's grown up stuff going on.
yep, grown up stuff. Okay, this is. I mean, we're just gonna quickly just move on, but this is the fun announcement. This is the one I've been waiting on at least for a while. But the new team we have had a pleasure to be able to announce and show all the stuff regarding the new team. I mean, I'm gonna let you say the new team name. I'm just gonna give you that honor.
It is the new team that we'll be joining will be the Pork Chops.
Pork chops.
I don't or Pork Chops Elite. My
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Yeah, pork chops elite will be joining TWBL, which the team consists of. We don't really know. Like, there's no really names that have popped out. We know that they play baseball. We know that they are new to wiffle ball, so a lot of growing pains going to come out of that team. Do they? I mean, they're going to have a chance, obviously. With baseball knowledge, always comes, I guess, the mechanics. I think where most of the baseball, I guess, things kind of fly out the window is where pitching comes down. Pitching in baseball is a lot different than pitching in wiffle ball. Hitting fairly similar. Yes, the ball does move quite a bit more, but it's pretty much the same mechanics. At least from what I've learned, at least. But pitching is going to be the biggest stumble. I don't really have anything else other than that. I don't know if you've got anything, Cam.
Okay, I'm not positive, but if this is the team that is like a bunch of high schoolers that play at, is this the team that plays at Plano West or one of the Plano schools that Gage was like a friend of a friend, something like that?
Mm.
Because if that's who I think this is, Gage showed me a picture like the same day, and like they were practicing already. So like I
Mm.
think if that's who I'm thinking of, like they're already getting ready for the season.
Already
So
getting
I
ready.
think I think they'll fit in. I think they'll fit in just fine.
That's good to see. That's great. I mean, it's always great if a team like that can pan out, especially because I mean, it's a team of all rookies. I mean, I think I did tell you about this last episode where we were talking to Josh about rookie of the year race, and that's going to be a team. While we are a young team where we have we have three rookies, they're a team of full. It's just all rookies. So definitely going to be some. I think there's going to be definitely some talks in terms of maybe some heckling on who's winning rookie of the year race in terms of. Of course, I've never seen those guys, so I don't really know the skill, whether they're better than the rookies we already have going, but out of Josh, Logan, Dylan. But I think it's gonna be a fun race, and hearing that they're probably already practicing, excited, and I think it will probably be definitely probably a closer race than last year, even though it was pretty close last year with the rookie of the year race.
Definitely, it'll be exciting to see what happens with how they pan out.
I
New
mean,
teams are tricky, but
yeah.
I mean, if they're practicing now, then that's better than most.
I mean, yeah. The last year top three was Hunt. No, sorry, it was Ross Norman, it was Henry Thomason and Landon Davidson. Those were the three rookie of the year candidates at the top. I mean, of course, down there at the bottom at 4 and 5 was me and um Palmore. I can't think of his first name. Parker Palmore, I think.
Parker, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this might be a case where all five rookie of the years are probably neck and neck, and it's probably going to be up and down. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. Going on to our next segment. Oh no, not next segment. Sorry, we have to go into the more important stuff with the logo and the jersey. So the logo, I think, looks really nice. I like the logo personally. I don't know about your opinion. I like the logo.
I think it's a fun logo. It's a fun jersey.
The red,
You know, I'm not a big like. Oh, it's fun.
the red stands out. I don't think we have any red teams yet.
Nah, not that I know
We have a bunch of blue. We have Cookie Monsters and Blue Ballers, and then green, black, pink, pink, and
Pink.
and another blue. So three blues.
Yeah, what is Hoosier?
Blue.
Hoosier
Blue.
Daddy's
It's
like beige, right?
no, it's blue and red. Beige was Hoosier, or beige was Whiffin' Ain't Easy.
Never mind.
Yeah. Cat.
It's been too long.
And then the jerseys are also pretty. I think I like the pinstripes. I like the pinstripes. I think the all red kind of looks cool. I'm excited to see that actually in person. I'm hoping those are ready by opening day, that so we get to see those in action. But I think it's gonna be a fun team. I don't know. I don't got anything else other than that. I mean, I got a question right here, right in front of me, saying what it takes for them to succeed. I think what it takes for them to succeed is, I guess, just working on what they got. I mean, I don't really got
I agree.
because I mean, with no wiffle ball experience, like at least professionally or like anything other than backyard league or something like that, it's really hard to go into especially with all rookies. Like you have nobody with they have nobody in their locker room space with experience in the league, so it can't. I don't doubt that they could definitely be a top, or not a top team, but like maybe a mid team or something like that. But yeah, I think I think they can, especially with the attendance concerns out of DX. I I'm not sure how much that's gonna affect them, but I don't think they'll be last. I don't think they'll be last per se, but maybe they do find something and maybe they do make a little bit of a run. But going into I guess placements, we can move on to the early power rankings if you don't got anything else on the new team.
Yeah, the problem is the unknown. I don't know anything about them, so
Yeah.
it's hard to put some
It's
opinions on a team I don't
hard
know
to
anything
judge
about.
without an image. It's hard to judge without an image of them. Going
Exactly.
into two early power rankings. Obviously, we know these are too early. I mean, we've got T minus 4 weeks till the season. Something along those lines. But yeah, T minus 4 or so weeks till the season, and we've got some sort of power rankings now that the teams are finalized. Now that the 8 teams that are competing next year are put in. So, I mean, I'll let you kind of run it. Go ahead and say one, and then we can kind of go through each team. All right. Yeah.
So,
Go
nobody's surprise. Number one is what are we, 2 or 3 time champs in a row of the league, the Flying Turtles. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Number 2, fortunately, the team who lost was just short last year. My new team, the Crooked Rooks. Now, a lot of things have changed in the offseason with, got added to the team, but the Flying Turtles are without Ben Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So do those two things outweigh each other? I know my boy Nolan Chazik has gotten a lot better. I
He
will say
has.
that.
He
Saw it
has.
firsthand. I saw it firsthand. He looks good. But will will the addition of me and the loss of Ben Lee finally be able to dethrone the Flying Turtles this year? But unfortunately, to start the year, it's gonna be Flying Turtles 1, Crooked Rooks 2, based off of last season.
So, I mean,
Going in,
I
oh,
sorry, I just want to add on. I think the Crooked Rooks. This obviously this is too early. So obviously you're gonna go champion and runner up. But I think come maybe mid or late May, maybe even early June, Rooks might be in that top spot. While while the additions are great, the can't, I mean obviously they added you, but we also keep in mind that they're getting hopefully a healthy Tate Stewart next year or this upcoming season. So with a healthy Tate Stewart, an addition of Cam Allison, and then you've already got the mammoth of a lineup that you all have already got, especially with the apparently now serviceable three pitcher Race Radke. and but yeah, y'all. I mean, the lineup up and down is great. The pitching depth is especially gonna help the veteranship. Jackson Richardson got drafted to BLW, so I am I guess questioning a little bit on I guess attendance in terms of I don't know how BLW is going to go in terms of I do know that they are running in the summer. So I am just wondering what attendance is going to look like there, especially for I think Cooper Ruckle is also in BLW. I think I don't know if Paul Marshall is, but I think those three are in BLW. So wondering if that's going to take into effect in terms of attendance. But yeah, I think Rooks might be number one sooner than we think. I think we blink and all of a sudden Turtles and Rooks are fighting for that top spot.
very much enjoy that take. Big fan of the take. Going into our number three spot will be the Cosby Show. Obviously, we heard earlier in the show, Cooper Ruckle's attendance for week one is going to be dependent on his ankle. Rest up, Coop. But in the meantime, they did add Skylar Burt, who will give them. Have to assume if Cooper's not pitching, he'd be their ace. And another good bat. Add
Mhm.
to that lineup, who's already made significant improvements. Their lineup looked good last year. I'll say the
Yeah,
least.
definitely one of the better
And
lineups in TWBL.
yeah, they hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean
Then
with
going into our,
oh sorry,
I go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say with Tristan Metters, and then you've got Logan Swink, and now they've got the average hitter out of not average hitter, but like batting average hitter out of Skylar Burt that can have some pop behind him. I think it's really hard to not look at that lineup, and who knows they could even compete for that two spot at sometimes, but I think three. I guess kind of I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think three is going to be where Cosby's going to stay for most of the season, if not all the season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
But going into four, the Blue Ballers unfortunately losing league favorite Will Raines. That that just hurts so much. He was probably one of their hottest hitters last year, and they're a top two pitcher. Jack won Cy Young last year, right? I think
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Jacko. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, the number two on that team. Now you need to find a new number two. You need to find a new best bat.
what's gonna
Ah,
be
It's
what's gonna be the decider for them is whether they can find the bats. I mean, I looking at the numbers last year, They were the only teams that they were better than offensively was Who's Your Daddy and Whiffin' Ain't Easy. Which, granted,
Really?
their pitching was great. Their pitching made up for it. But I think what's going to decide them is whether they can hit the ball or not. I think I think they do have some promise. Like Jack Hoving had a good year last year offensively. Paul Marshall had a good year. Will Raines, obviously. Those three had some good years. Henry Thomason, they have some promise out of. Austin Martin, they have some promise out of. So I mean, it's not like up and down. They have like a terrible lineup. I don't think necessarily they have something that's something to look over. I definitely think they have the on paper a good lineup. I guess is the better term. But that's what's going to be the decider, especially whenever it um comes to playoffs. That's going to be at the end of the day what's going to decide whether they go deep in the playoffs or not is whether the bats are on or off.
I do agree with that. Going into our fifth spot is DX. Um, DX this year is Jesse, Andrew, Cade Turnage.
Which two of those are already part time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Cade and Jesse, right? Both
Yeah.
part time.
It's not looking good for DX. It's not looking great, especially attendance wise. I think
Those are
I don't
two of the better players in the league who you don't know if they're gonna show up week in, week out.
yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what part time fully means. I don't know if that
Yeah.
means if that means 6 weeks or if that means 3 weeks. That I mean that number could vary.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that information.
Mm-mm. I don't got anything on that cuz I mean, all I know is the info that I've been told, in which was, I mean, I didn't do any inside digging nor asking. So it's more just what was said on the Slack chat, just with them being part time. It's especially tough or having those two guys as part time with how good of bats they are and pitching. Because now I feel like all the weight is on Andrew. I feel like all that weight's going to be pushed on him to kind of carry throughout the season. Maybe they get a free agent that helps out. I know they were supposed to go to the PR2 today, as of recording this today, to scout out some free agents. Granted, do we know who showed up to that? No, but maybe I did see a free agent. We did. I don't know if you were there for whenever he came by, but there was a free agent. No, you were. There was a free agent that came by last PR2, and he was pretty good. Like he wasn't bad.
No, I feel like his pitch recognition was.
Yeah, no, his bat to ball, I think, was really solid. I think throwing inside pitches to him was I guess, not the right idea, because he was kind of inside, so he would somehow take the inside pitches off, which didn't make sense to me, but it worked. It worked for him. So he wasn't bad. I guess I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in the DX lineup.
I wouldn't either. Well, speaking of new guys coming into the league, will transition us into our number six spot, being the Cookie Monsters. Returning, well, not fully new, but four guys returning from last year,
Mm-hmm.
which would be both Landons, Zach Torres, and Garrett Harrell,
Yep.
adding the three rookies of Josh, Logan, and
It's Dylan, Josh, and
Dylan. I haven't
yeah,
seen Dylan yet.
yeah. No one's seen Dylan yet. Dylan is rather new to Wiffle, kind of the same as the other rookies that are coming in, where little to no wiffle ball experience, lot of baseball experience. So that's where he's at. But my opinion on my own team, I I think we deserve at least that 5 spot. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to talk too ahead, but maybe go 4. I don't know. I I don't want to talk too much on my butt because we haven't stepped on the field yet. But I have pretty high hopes in my team, even with Landon being out for 3 or so weeks. I'm pretty confident, but I guess we'll see on opening day. I think it'll be fun. I think 6 is a good spot to start because you can. I mean, I think you can work from the bottom, go up, and I think we're gonna go 5 or 4, maybe, maybe
Yeah, I think it's just kind of hard to rank
a
a
new
new
team, a
team
new
just
team.
coming
Yeah,
in at the
I mean,
year.
I mean, we both made this list, so I mean, I agree.
That is true. Yeah. Transitioning into number 7, none other than Who's Your Daddy,
Hmm.
who we've all seen Who's Your Daddy before.
Yeah.
They go out there, they have a fun time playing some wiffle ball.
Fun team to watch, definitely.
They're a fun team to watch.
Hmm.
Yeah, some characters, some fun guys to watch.
There's some
They
solid.
chirp, they chirp.
Yeah, there's some solid guys on there too. I mean, with
They do have a couple guys. They have a couple
they have
guys.
they have a couple solid guys on their end. So maybe they do prove us wrong this year.
We will see. Yeah, we'll
They're
see.
they're coming for the turtle spot.
Yeah, if they end up at number 1, yeah, that would be a surprise.
Nobody would have guessed. That would
Yes, last.
not be anybody's.
Nah,
Okay, carry on.
you go throw some money. Go throw some money on a lottery if that happens. But nah, it'll be fun. They're a fun team to have out there.
Yeah.
But going into the number 8 spot is the new team. We had talked about this earlier. The Pork Chop Elite. They're 8 because no one really knows anything.
You can't really
It
put
kind of
them any
boils down to
higher.
that.
Can't really put them any higher.
So they'll prove us wrong at the end of the year. We'll come back to this list. They're like, oh, they didn't deserve it. But it's strictly just like a placeholder spot. If we're
Yeah.
being honest, no one knows what they look like.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Gage. I don't know if he does.
Yeah. You can't really put someone above people that you've seen play. I guess is kind of the term. But yeah, I mean that.
But I am interested.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm excited to see this new team. I don't know. I feel like that's like one of my most like exciting things coming into this new season is to see the new teams, or not the new teams, the new team, but as well the new additions with you on Rooks and Skylar on Cosby. I feel like it's gonna be so. I feel like it's gonna be less weird seeing you in a Rooks uniform only because Ballbusters had a similar, I guess, kind of vibe, like with the black and I guess kind of white. You all had like an off white, but I think it's gonna be more weird seeing Skylar in a Cosby uniform. But yeah.
speaking of Cosby uniform, transitioning to the next segment, top 18,
Mm-hmm.
where last week we may or may have forgot our guy Cooper Ruckle gave a list. So just a brief rundown of his 18 through 16. It was respectfully in order: 18 Austin Martin, 17 Nolan Chazek, and 16 Tate Stewart, which leads us into today where we go into 15 to 11, what we think where these players should be. And Cooper Ruckle started us off with Matt Lee at 15. I think he pitched too well to be at 15. Obviously, you see the hitting stats. You're like, hitting stats aren't great.
Yeah.
That's, the stats show the hitting wasn't phenomenal. But man, that guy pitches that like he is disgusting on the mound. So me personally, I think Matt things around that into 13, 11 to 13 range. That's kind of where I think Matt Lee lies, just because his pitching is genuinely that dominant.
I mean, I think what sticks out to me whenever I'm looking at that number is just the 281 ERA just kind of jumps out. And then the 1.24 whip, 51 strikeouts. And then I didn't realize how odd win percentages because of course Turtles winning a lot with a 8-9 win loss, which I think led the Turtles other than I think Ian. I think Ian had a higher win loss, but I I do agree. I saw Matt Lee was at the PR2, no? That was I think Matt Lee was at the PR2.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
there.
So I mean I got to see a bit of his pitching. His offense definitely looked kind of I would say the same, around the same numbers. I think it looked solid. I think it looked sustainable. And I think his pitching looked good as always. His I don't know what pitch it is, but there was one pitch that he was throwing that it just kind of froze me on. But I'm not gonna say which pitch because then he'd probably use it on me all the time. But I think he looks nasty. It's gonna be super fun facing off against him in the regular season. At 15, I do agree. I think he should be higher. But with how I guess small the margin is for this next 15-1, it's very hard to put people higher or lower, especially. I mean, cause I see. I mean, I'm looking at the list in front of me. It's kind of hard to put any of those guys below Matt, in my opinion. But yeah, let's go. I mean, speaking of that, let's just go on to the next one. Unless you got anything to add.
Number 14. Nah.
Okay.
Number 14, we have Connor Rederath. I think here is where you get to the question of, are we basing this off of stats of last year, or are we basing this off of who is Connor Rederath? The stats off last year, 14's fine with me. 365 batting average, 27 hits, 7 homers, 29 RBIs. Pitching, not his best year pitching, coming off that young the year prior.
That Cy Young year was
380
ridiculous.
ERA, whip of. Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous. Like that was I haven't seen anything like that. And medium pitch,
That's not going to be seen again, most likely.
I'd be surprised. So that's where we kind of propose the question of, if this list is based off last year, fine with 14. If we're basing off of what we think predictions will be next year, I think Connor's a top 10 guy still.
I mean,
But
oh, go
like I said earlier, basing on last year, I like him at 14.
I mean, I've seen him. I think I've probably seen him more than most TWBL players over the offseason, besides the Turtles themselves, because due to playing him at MLW and playing him at BLW. But while the offensive numbers right now, I mean, a 365, 27 hits, 7 homers, 29 RBIs, I think those numbers go up this year. I mean, if I'm buying stock, or not stock, but if I'm betting on anything, or did I just say that? No, I said the right one. If I'm predicting anything in terms of stat lines or anything, I'm predicting at least a 400 batting average, 400 plus from Connor. And I think the home runs go up. I think he at least gets like maybe 12 or so. But I think the bat was definitely promising on Connor. Pitching, I think this year or last year was kind of just a bump in his kind of path. I think people started to see him a bit more. He said that he found the feel for, I think he said, his drop ball again, and which was one of his nastiest pitches. I think he was one of 2 people to throw a perfect game last year. I think only you and Connor were the only people to have a perfect game. But he had a perfect game along with not giving up any contact, or not contact, but it was all strikeouts, which is really impressive. And I think Connor, like you said, I think he's top 10 if you're going off of predictions for next year or who Connor is.
And I think we're kind of on the same page with Connor right there. Going into number 13, we have Skylar Burt, and yeah, Skylar Bird at 13th. posting a 493 batting average, 70 hits, 8 homers, 36 RBIs with a 3.79 ERA, 2.05 WHIP, 89 strikeouts, and a 500 win-loss ratio. We didn't win a lot of games last year, so that is what it is. But I think I'll hate 13. I think I kind of have him and Matley in that same area. It depends on what you value more. If you want a better bat, you're gonna go Skylar. If you want a better arm, if you value pitching more, you go Matley. But I think Skylar in that 13 to 11 area is. I agree with Coop here.
I mean, I will point out in terms of Skylar's stats, if we're talking ranking wise, he's on paper like kind of insane. First in strikeouts in TWBL, top 5 in ERA, first in hits in terms of batting, top 10 in average, and then he's tied for 6th in RBIs, which I feel like. Oops, what did I do? I did something bad. Oh, cut that out. There you go. Okay, back on. I feel like you. I feel like he's kind of low. Maybe not. Maybe that's just me. What? Because he 13. I forgot what I put him at. But now looking at the stats and the rankings, it's just kind of insane, the numbers. And I think with him being in an offensive heavy team like Cosby Show, it's definitely gonna highlight those stats a bit more.
Yeah, I think I agree that new scenery will definitely will not be getting as many at bats going from dang near a three-person lineup
Yeah.
to they have like 7 in their lineup. Like they got a lot of dudes. I don't know who
Yeah.
else coming back, but they got a lot of dudes over there.
Yeah.
Obviously, like hits, yeah, or hits, innings, stuff like that is going to go down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but batting average might go up because less at.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very interesting to see going from that small of a lineup to that big of a lineup.
Yeah. This next one's a fun one.
But rolling into Coop, always a fun one. Rolling into Coop's number 12 spot is Camden Allison from the Crooked Rooks.
Who's that guy?
Posting a 481 batting average, 62 hits, 10 homers, 39 RBIs. Known ace. 6.68 ERA, 2.76 with 52 Ks, and a gorgeous win-loss percentage of 231.
Beautiful.
I appreciate the number 12 ranking, of course. I mean, I put myself at 15 just because I don't know if we've ever seen my defense before, but it's.
I don't think they factored
outside
defense.
Of the plate, man,
I don't think they factored defense.
Outside of hitting a little bit.
Well, I think because it's also the fact that
but
you're going to Crooked Rooks where you're not going to be playing the field basically at all.
It's true. Get me off the field, bro. No, I'd probably put myself at around 14 or 15, but
I mean, I personally,
one man's opinion.
I personally somewhat agree. I think you could go a bit higher, but I personally like the 12 spot. While it's highlighted, I feel like what's really bolded on this sheet of paper right here, it's the hitting stats. The pitching stats aren't terrible for medium pitch, I will say. But I don't think the pitching stats tell the full story, cuz I mean, granted, there was only 2 perfect games last year and you were one of them. So that proves you've got a bit of dominance in that arm of yours. So that's going to prove something. I think the ERA is going to dip this year with you getting less innings. And I mean, I still think you're going to be a qualified pitcher, but I do think you're going to have a lower ERA just because of the workload being not as much.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely I'll be a third for sure. But Going into his 11th spot, we have Tristan Metters, um, posting a 535 batting average, 38 hits, 10 homers, 26 RBIs, a 7.10 ERA, 2.79 WHIP, 33 Ks, and a 429 win-loss ratio on the mound, or win-loss percentage on the mound. Um, he gets on base. I don't he always gets on base, which is
I
I think
personally think this
that's
is
so
high.
key for that lineup.
I personally think
Is
this
what?
is high. I personally think this is high. I think all the because all these lists have. A bit of a spoiler. All these lists have Tristan Metters. I have him a lot higher. I guess lower. This is too low. I said high, but I'm thinking number. This is too. I feel like 11. I feel like 11's a good spot, but I will say just I think he's better than 11 personally, just with how much he
You think
gets
he's
on
better than
base.
11?
I think he's better than 11 just because of the hitting stats. I don't. While the pitching is kind of gross, I don't. I'm not really more worried about that. I I just like, but I'm also going off of just the average numbers. 535 is just insane. He had 10 homers, 26 RBIs. I think he's gonna have an insane season. I think he's gonna especially thrive off of more people getting on base in terms of Cosby Show. I think it's just gonna be a fun lineup to watch, especially with Tristan Metters in the midst of it.
Yeah, my only switch I would switch Skylar and Tristan. I'd flip those two spots.
Really?
Skylar at 11, Tristan at 13.
So you'd have
Because
Tristan
my thing,
higher or lower or whatever you say.
yeah, yeah, my thing is Tristan was their number two last year
Mm.
with a 7.10 ERA. You can't argue the bat. That's not what I'm here to argue right now.
Mm-hmm.
My thing was, and he's gonna pitch less this year because Skylar's obviously there.
Yeah.
But the only reason I would switch those two is because if we're basing it off of last year, Tristan was their number two. Your number two having a 7.10 ERA. Obviously, Cade came in at some point and actually looked really good. So very interested to see how much Tristan does pitch this year. Is will he be a number four with Cade looking good and Tyler being added in that mix? I'm interested to see what they do. But they got some guys, so.
Yeah.
But going into Skylar's list,
I mean,
a lot of these names
I can
will
do
be.
this one. I can do this one. I like doing Skylar's list. This is fun. Okay. Going into Skylar Burt's list, where we just wrapped up Cooper Ruckles catching up his from 18 to 11. So going into Skylar's, it's going to be a repeat name, but higher. 15 is going to be none other than the guy we just talked about, Tristan Metters. I think he should be lower on this list, me personally. But I will say I do like Skylar's list to this point. Or to the at least the 15 to 11.
Yeah, I'm looking at his 15 to 11 too. We are one spot on pretty much all these. I got Tristan at 13, Paul at 16. Yeah, I mean we're one or two within each other up to this point for at least this side of the ball.
Yeah. I mean I think Metters can have an insane year. I think especially with him getting less innings, I think it'll be. I think he's just going to be dominant in the hitting side. Whatever, he just gets to focus on hitting a lot more and not have to worry about the weight of being the number two.
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah. Moving on will be the Blue Ballers' Paul Marshall, which I don't think was in Cooper. No, he was not. He was not in Cooper's top 11. So, I mean, I don't got a lot of comments on this. I mean, with the Blue Ballers offense and how it was last year, he definitely was the little I guess sun in between it just being that a solid offensive player. Wasn't qualified pitching. The pitching numbers were gross, but he wasn't qualified, so I'm not really gonna, I guess, account for that. The hitting numbers were solid. I mean, he had, it looks like, 13 homers, 32 hits, 24 RBIs, 416 average. Just solid all around hitter. You got anything?
Oh, my bad. You were like super lagging on
Oh,
my
was I? My
screen.
bad.
I heard almost none of that, but I'll just pick up. So, 14. Yeah, obviously got Paul Marshall. I think I would say he's a little low. I'd put him at around that 16 range, in my opinion. Guy plays good defense, hits the ball, started, but did not have the Paul Marshall year that I personally know. So I think, you know, I think he's got to bounce back this year. I think we got to see it.
Okay. Moving on to number 13, you have none other than Connor Rederath. I I think he. I mean, I think this goes with the same take that we had last time we saw his name. We talking last year, or are we talking prediction? Or are we talking about Connor's overall? But I think Connor's gonna be a solid player. I think he's gonna improve a lot this upcoming year. I don't really have a lot more to add on, but I do. I guess I will say I agree with this spot, just for the fact of his numbers declining last year. So it's kind of just like it's kind of like a pillow spot, kind of like oh, you're here, but like you could be better.
Yeah, I mean, if in that view, I do. Like I said earlier, if we're based off last year, I'm fine with it. If we're going off of who Connor is, usually I'd put him top 10, but I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Next up will be Skylar Burt, putting Skylar Burt at 12, which is I think a good spot. I think it's a good spot. It's just outside the top 10, but I think he put himself at a solid spot. Offensive numbers are good, pitching numbers are good, and I mean I think he, especially in the Cosby Show offense, I think he could improve those numbers, and I think he could end up higher than where he ranks himself right now.
No, I personally I do agree with that. I think 12 is money.
Uh-huh. Oh, and then last spot for Skylar's list would be none other than the Flying Turtles. I would say number 2, Matt Lee, which we've discussed. We've discussed quite recently. Yeah, his number 15. So number 11 will be Matt Lee, just outside, just missing the top 10. And the reason being, I'm pretty sure, would be those offensive numbers. The pitching, I don't understand how the Turtles just produce insane pitchers like they do. It's just they have. I feel like every single one on their roster could start and put up a good start, which is just unfair. I mean, Matt Lee, I think the offensive numbers go up maybe a bit. I think 11, maybe pushing it a little bit. I think he could be 12. I think maybe switch Skylar and Matt would suffice my vision, I guess. But I overall all so far Skylar at least 15 through 11. I think that's a solid place to put each one of these guys.
Second that. Going into the final sipping coffee with Bert, 15 through 11, we have Connor Rederath, who will start with Tate Stewart, 15. Um, Again, I think my guy's a top 10 guy in the league. But obviously, guys coming off an ACL surgery, so stats don't look very Tate Stewarty, but I think those stats will drastically improve going into this next season. So I think we'll see Tate as a top 10 guy again, but I understand putting him at 15 based off the stats.
I mean, are we gonna do some more Tate Stewart glaze like we did last podcast? I mean, he's a solid player overall.
I've said what I need to say.
But I do like.
I've said my piece.
Yeah, I do like Tate Stewart, and I think he's gonna be better than 15. I think 15. I think everybody's already pretty much ranked Tate Stewart in this before top 14, which is kind of crazy considering the numbers and considering him playing on an injury last year. But I think all those numbers go up. I think we just got a little sample size of what Tate Stewart can do last season, and he's just going to go full throttle this year.
I do agree with that. Going into number 14th, he has Skylar Burt. We touched on this earlier. I think Skylar's a 13 to 11 kind of guy. I think 14 is kind of crazy. I can't lie.
I don't understand that spot myself. Because, I mean...
It does not feel like the right spot.
Yeah. 14 just looks off to me.
I do agree. Going into 13, yes, Mr. Matters.
Yeah. Popular...
kind of touched on Tristan earlier. Actually,
very popular name in this top... in this 11, Tristan Matters.
We've seen a lot of the same list, which I guess I'm not like super shocked by. No, Tristan, I like Tristan at 13. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing more to add.
Going into 12, we got Matt Lee. Like I said earlier, that spot. I think we're kind of on the same page. We can.
Yeah, I like Matt Lee there. I feel like some reaction is gonna come out of this 11 spot. I feel like this 11's kind of rough.
Hey, there might be some issues going on with Cooper and Connor because I'm seeing Cooper Ruckle at 11 right now. Oh, don't watch the podcast yet. I don't know why this is.
Oh goodness.
Cooper is a guy in the league. I think top 5 is
not even
11.
Not even in the top 10. Not even.
That had to be on purpose.
I'm
not entertaining this. I'm not even gonna entertain this, bro. This wasn't on purpose. This is a joke.
I mean, almost a 600 batting average, 43 hits, 11 homers, 34 RBIs. While the pitching numbers weren't like the prettiest thing in the world, but like with medium pitch, I mean, a 479 is that it's 470. 470 isn't terrible. So like, I mean, but the offensive numbers are just insane. I don't know how he gets like. I understand, I guess, missing him in the top 10, like, but him not even making the top 10 is kind of insane to me.
Just don't. I think he's a very easy top 5 guy. So
yeah.
I gotta go listen to his explanation on coffee because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't done my research, but I gotta go see his.
I mean,
I don't figure out his explanation.
I don't remember what he said, to be quite honest. But yeah, I mean that concludes all of their top 18. Now we get to do the fun part and do ours a little bit. You want me to go first or you? I think.
Yeah, starts off.
Me?
Or should we go 15, 15, 14, 14, 13,
yeah,
13, 12, 12?
I like that. Okay, here we go. So my 15 is none other than my teammate Landon Davidson. I love his K numbers. I think that's what really dropped my or dropped whoa really popped. I'm just gonna say really popped out to me. The K per four is insane, and for how many innings he got, which was less than most pitchers, for him being as high ranking as he is in strikeouts was insane. And I feel like he only gets better this season, especially with what I've seen over the offseason with his offense also improving. I don't think I think he's pretty comfortable in that 15th spot. I don't know about your opinion. I know his offensive numbers were really disgusting last year.
Yeah, I mean, just he's a potential guy for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
Diving into my 15, I have none other than self.
Okay. Oh wait.
I think 15. I'm putting myself 15. The hitting looks good, but I don't really pitch. I don't really play defense. So like, I think there's just I think 15's a fine spot for me. I'm cool with that.
I mean that's fair. I mean I had you higher, but I mean for you ranking, I mean it's nice to be humble sometimes.
No,
Okay.
I think it's not a humble thing. It's just a no. uh,
It's just the
15
thing.
feels right.
Yep. Okay, going on to 14. I have which I kind of looking back at my ranking, it's kind of rough, but I had Skylar Burt at 14, which it felt made sense at the time when I was making this list, and to like kind of defend my pick a little bit. I do think all the guys I put in front of him are are better, have the potential to be better. And I mean that's all I can really say. I like my list ahead of him. I guess that's why I put Skylar Burt there.
Yeah, I can understand that. My 14 is a name we actually haven't heard yet, so I'm very interested to see where people put this guy. But I have Cade Zaspiel at 14.
Mm.
In my eyes, I think this is how I was thinking. When I did my list, I kind of grouped some players up, and I feel like, I mean, if we're basing things off of last year,
I mean
if
he
we're
had
basing
insane
things off of
stats.
last year, I think my bat is better than Cade's, but Cade's pitching is a lot better than mine.
I
But
mean
I just, in my eyes, I feel like me and Cade are kind of in that same region. You see, his pitching is a little bit better. I think my bat's a little bit better.
I mean you
My humble
said
opinion.
you
Um,
sorry. I was gonna say you said that he was the number three for Cosby Show. He had a 2.76 ERA last year, third in
I did
TWBL,
see that.
which first in wins, second in strike. That just makes me that's insane. I don't know. Top top three in three of the main stats, and then top 10 in walks allowed. I mean that's Cy Young numbers in my opinion. If it weren't for Jack
Yeah,
Hoving and
maybe,
just Ian O'Hare.
maybe he is a little high, but I was just kind of grouping people at the time, so
Yeah,
it might
understandable.
be. Looking back on that list, he might be a little. I'm not standing on business at all with my list, so it's just like no, I like him. I feel like I'm kind of looking at comparable players, and I just in my I mean he's a lot better than I think he is.
Mhm.
I think maybe my issue is I don't think of him as a pitcher. Obviously, those numbers say differently, but in
Yeah,
my head, I'm like, when I think of Cosby pitchers, I always thought Coop and
Cooper and
Tristan. So
Tristan. Yeah,
maybe I did not give my boy Cade enough credit. So
my
I have
14
some
or my
angry
13
emails.
angry emails. My 13 was Cade Turnage, and not for the reason of his skill, because his skill's there, easily a top 10 player with his skill alone. But I have him there just because he's part time. Um, I think that's just my main reasoning behind it. I think he's better than Skylar. The numbers kind of, I don't know. I like Cade, and I think he's definitely a top 10, top 5 or whatever. But just him being part time puts him at 13 in my opinion.
Yeah. My 13 will be Tristan Metters. I think my 13 through 11, I pretty much explained why my reasoning for everything. So I'll keep this short and sweet. I just Tristan at 13. He was supposed to be their number two last year. His bat, great get on base guy, great leadoff guy. But he was supposed to be number two last year. Those stats just didn't show it.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think 13 is a good spot for him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to add on to that. That's a good take. And 12, I have none other than my co-host Camden Allison, which I loved the offensive numbers last year, and I feel like whenever, because I had edited the hype video for the TWBL channel, or the advertisement video, and I kept circling back to that perfect game, and it just a fun start to watch. And I feel like that's where the bias comes from, is because I don't know, just special thing. And I remember always being in the box against you, and it was just always not a fun AB to have. But yeah, I mean, I think in my list you're pretty comfortable in 12.
Well, I appreciate that. Going into my number 12, I have Mr. Matley himself. Again, touched on everything I want to touch on.
Yeah.
Great arm. Love to see they get the offensive numbers up just a little bit. But I think 12's that perfect spot for him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the pitching is, I mean, we've discussed this like I think 4 times already, but I think the pitching is insane. Batting needs improvement, but I think is going to get that improvement this year. Finally, my number 11 is the none other than Cade Zestupil. So I do have him on my list. I honestly thought about putting him kind of deeper into this, just because of the pitching numbers alone. I mean, with being top 3 in 3 of the 4 highlighted stats on the TWBL page, being top 10 in all of them, hitting stats not perfect, but top 15 batter. I mean, he had 23 RBIs, tied for 15 in TWBL, 446 average, not tied for 12th in TWBL. Just a solid man. I don't know. Maybe people have him higher in their list, because the fact that his name hasn't been said, I guess, is kind of worrying me a little bit.
No, I think I'd have to assume we'll see him top 10 on most people's list.
Have to.
But wrapping this thing up at my number 11, I have Skylar Burt, who once again we had touched on earlier. Hitting stats look good. Pitching stats pretty darn solid. Need I say much more?
Just put the curtain on that. I mean, just overall consistent, solid batter. Fun to watch. Excited to see him next season with his new team. So, I mean, I will say, Cosby Show really popular in this 15 to 11. I feel like we saw a lot of Cosby Show, especially from 18 to 11, with Logan Swink making most people's top 18. And then of course the 2 people on new or transitioning to a new team from a signing, both already said out of Skylar Bird and Camden Allison. Connor Rederath has shown his appearance in top 18. I think up and down these are solid lists. I think the one I would say I agree with most at the moment, honestly, right now, it has to be Skylar. Out of the 3, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good take. I know the one I agree least with is the one who has a top five player at number 11. I gotta go figure out that reasoning. I don't get it.
He's gonna send a text right after.
I'll
but
go watch. I'll go watch that podcast.
but yeah, I mean that concludes top 18. That took up. I mean, obviously from now on it gets into the fun part where it's top 10, where hearts are broken and toes are stepped on, everything like that. I mean, I feel like a lot of people. I feel like these maybe are going to be pretty similar going from 10 to 1. I feel like a lot of these guys are kind of obvious, but hey, that's the reveal in a later episode. But yeah, you got any closing statements before I close it out, Cam?
No, just ready to get that season rolling, man.
I'm just excited. Well, thank you for watching yet another episode of This Week in TWBL. Thank you for joining us. I'm Landon Simpson, joined by Camden Allison, and have a great rest of y'all's day.